Hello again, and welcome to American Top 40. I'm Casey Kasem, and this is the show that lets you know how your favorite songs are doing every week from coast to coast, according to Billboard magazine's national survey. Well, we have another new number one record this week, and 5 new songs on the chart. Let's get it all started right here.
Billboard's number 40.
Here's a newcomer from the Bronx, New York, 24 years old, a graduate of the High School of Performing Arts in Manhattan. Her name is Melissa Manchester, and her song's a pretty one called Midnight Blue. The first of the 40 hottest records in the USA on American Top 40, Melissa Manchester with Midnight Blue.
Casey's Coast to Coast.
Well, now on American Top 40, I have the current hit by a singer-composer who once studied songwriting and record production at New York University. Her instructor was Paul Simon. It was back in 1970, and the artist was enrolled at NYU as a drama student. And one day, she saw a notice on the bulletin board at school announcing that Paul Simon was going to teach a music class, and that auditions would be held to determine enrollment in the course. So she showed up at the auditions, along with hundreds of others. 9 students were selected. She was one of them. The artist is Melissa Manchester, and she tells us that Paul began the class by saying, "We'll stay here as long as we have things to talk about, and when we run out of things to discuss, the class will be over." End of quote. Melissa says they found enough things to discuss for about 8 weeks, and she says that 2-month course with the talented Mr. Simon was one of the most beneficial experiences of her life. This week, her second chart hit moves up a couple of notches to number 37. Here she is with Just Too Many People.
Somebody told me.
That was Melissa Midnight Blue Manchester at number 37 with Just Too Many People, her current hit. 36 hits to number 1 and counting them down.
The hits from coast to coast.
Well, now we're up to our AT40 extra by a lady who once studied songwriting and record producing at New York University. And her instructor was Paul Simon. It was back in 1970, and this singer was a drama student at NYU. One day, she saw a notice on a bulletin board on campus announcing that Paul Simon was going to teach a music class, and that auditions would be held to determine enrollment in the course. Well, it sounded like a fantastic opportunity, and the young drama student decided to take a shot at it. She showed up at the auditions along with several hundred other eager applicants, and when it was all over, Paul Simon had selected her as one of only 9 students to join his class. The lucky lady is Melissa Manchester. Well, Paul and his students found enough things to talk about to fill the next 8 weeks. And Melissa says that 2-month course was one of the most beneficial experiences of her life. In fact, she went on to co-write the biggest hit of her career. As an AT40 extra, here's that top 10 smash from 1975. Melissa Manchester and Midnight Blue. From 1975, an American Top 40 Extra, Midnight Blue by Melissa Manchester.
The hits from coast to coast.